added some water to my glaze, and it's a much nicer consistency than it was, which is good. Switch this this way. So for the glazing, it's kind of funky light. I've already pre-waxed all of these. How do I make that better? So we'll make it just pretty easy. A lot of the time I'll like dip it in and then pour it out, but I don't have that much time. And because this glaze works pretty well with like, this glaze works pretty well with this clay in terms of hiding the mistakes. I just kind of do it fast. And that is just a long process of figuring out like what works for you and what glaze works well, and you really get to know like this bucket of glaze I've had for quite some time now, and so I kind of understand how it works. Glaze is really tricky because you just never really, you can try to predict it, and some people are really diligent about that. They make like tester tiles and like do one layer of glaze and then 2 layers of glaze, and that's just not the way that I function. So yeah. This is the coyote oatmeal, and I think it works really well with the speckled buff because it has some speckles in it in itself. So then with the speckled buff clay that also has speckles, if there's like inconsistency in your thickness, it really kind of covers it up. So you can afford to not be super precise. Whereas if I were to put this oatmeal glaze on like just a B mix, a plain clay, the inconsistencies are a lot more obvious. I hope this all makes sense, by the way. If it doesn't, please feel free to like ask me any questions. I've had so many disappointed moments of like, oh, this is what my cup is gonna look like, and you spend so long making it, and then you get it to the bisqueware and you're like, wow, this is so good, and then you glaze it and it comes out like shit. And really, I had an art show, one of my first art shows, and I was so excited because I put all this like detail into all these bowls, and then the glaze just like did not work at all. And basically all these functional dinnerware pieces then became not functional bowls. You could like put keys in them and stuff, but the point was to be able to eat out of them, and the glaze just like bubbled up and destroyed them. So that's just part of the process, and if I was one of those really diligent people who tested things, then that probably could have been dodged, but I had limited time, and like I said, it's just not how I roll. I'm science-minded, I suppose, but not in that way. Or maybe I'm not science-minded at all. So yeah.